Hey kid.
Good morning, everybody. Oh, I pushed the wrong button. I've got something new for you. Do me a favor. Let me know what you guys think about it in the chat. Boom. How is this? Is this better or is this worse? Someone let me know, please. Oh, it's been a hell of a morning. It's been a hell of a night. I was out actually making the bug out video. Uh, uh, let's just say I woke up in the woods and you guys will get to see it. All right, let's sip a little coffee. Let's wait for the room to fill up. And while that is happening, looks like we got a 5x5 from Creative Redundancy already. Checking the chat, looks like Debbie's first roses number 2. And let's see here. Creative Redundancy, you are deterred. Let's see here. Alrighty then, Canada. Where are we at here? Catitudes in the house. Light Raider. Tuck is here. Bob is here. Pastor's in the house. Cindy in the house. Pamlico Prepper's in the house. Gnostic Nomad. Andy Pearson and Blaine is followed by Oops. Looks like everything is working. So, guys, what do you think? What do you think of my new background? What do you think about the new all this stuff? All this stuff. The way I've got it set up here. Guys, let me know in the chat. Looks like Lazy's here. Looks like Debbie's here. All right. So while you're doing that, let me go ahead and explain what this live stream is all about. Um, you know, I think one of the reasons that we watch these YouTube videos, I think the reason that you guys watch the lives is that you're looking for information. You're not just like it's like you want to learn something, I think. And I don't know that I'm the person to teach you everything, but I know that I'm smart enough to look to the people that um not necessarily came before me, but have already been through things. And to look to people who have been through like natural disasters and who've been through some stuff in the world. And I always was taught to be very humble to the people uh, that either came before me or went through stuff or have knowledge that it's like, hey, this is how it really works. Because I've always found that there's so many times in life where somebody says this is the book answer, but then there's something called the real answer. And I actually used to teach that to a lot of the officers that I would help train, and they needed to know, like, hey, there's a huge difference between what the book says and what really works in the world. And then hopefully I was able to relay that to them properly. So I'm just watching YouTube to kill time. You make me feel so useful, Stray Kitten. I watch live so I can interact with the presenter. I got you, Broseph. Nostic says it's just nice to be around like-minded folks. Sometimes the world is so stuck inside the Overton window, and it gets exhausting playing pretend around people. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Okay, so it looks like you guys like the new background. I do need to make some adjustments to it. It's not. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. But if you like it, I like it. All right. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into it. Uh, one last admin point here. If you guys are not taking advantage of the Discord, if you're members and you've signed up and you're not taking advantage of the Discord, shame on you. I understand not everybody does it. I get it. But I actually found one today that has been like a member on the YouTube family and was a member of the Patreon, I believe, but was a YouTube family member for a month or so now, and was just now today getting into the Discord because it's kind of like forgot about it or something. I'm not sure what it is, but if you're not taking advantage of your full benefits, then okay, so let's see here. Ian says, I made it. I made it. All right, so let's get on to some essential lessons that we can learn from disaster survivors, kind of like key preparedness tips. And remember that this is focused mostly on like disaster related type stuff. So the first thing that we can learn is that you need to evacuate early and completely. If the time comes for you to leave, then you need to do it. Survivors stress that leaving evacuation zones isn't enough. Distance matters. Even the tail end of a hurricane, hint, hint, can cause significant destruction. Families who left early but stayed nearby experienced unnecessary danger. Those who moved, and they've really got the jet engines going today, those who moved further away avoided last minute panic and additional risks. I think the point of this one is to make sure that people understand that if you have to evacuate, if you're going to evacuate, that you need to get far enough away. Don't think the next town is enough, okay? You need to get far enough away so that you can um, mitigate your level of danger. For instance, when I know that my house has survived a Category 3, so I know that when we get up in that range, I may have to run. But I also know exactly where I'm going to go, and I also know early enough that it's like how I'm going to get there, what's the route, and I'm far enough away that although I will still get a touch of hurricane, it will be nothing compared to what the property is experiencing. And if you're new to the channel, the way this works is I talk about something, you write something, I talk about what you wrote. All right, so moving on to the second one. Prepare for the post-disaster cleanup. Basic tools like box cutters, gloves, and heavy-duty trash bags prove more useful than flashy survival gear. Removing water-damaged items, especially carpets, is urgent to prevent mold growth, which can compromise a home's structure and health. Keep cleaning supplies accessible in an emergency kit. One of the biggest problems that they had during all of these hurricanes is getting rid of wet carpets. It's like, what do I do with this? I'm just going to hang it on my fence. Well, I don't have a fence. Now what do I do? And so, mold is a mysterious thing and it can like kind of grow wherever it wants to sometimes. But getting rid of those carpets was a serious problem. People actually eventually, first they rolled them up and stuck them off to the side, thinking they could do something with them, but the mold took care of that. And then some thought they were going to have them sent out to be cleaned, but that didn't work out because that's a lot of damn money. So they literally just burned them up. Nice, huh? Nice. All right, looking at the chat here, Stray Kitten says hazmat suits. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. You can buy them at Walmart right now. They're pretty cheap. The only thing I never really liked about the hazmat suits was that they don't come in green. They're always white. Let's see. Oops says, unless weather manipulation happens like in Tennessee and North Carolina. Yeah, making that sucker take a curveball. I do think it's kind of interesting. I mean, I don't really go that far into the tinfoil hat area, but I do think it's interesting how someone actually showed how they can steer weather with NextRad radars. That is some scary stuff. That is some weird stuff. That sounds like the kind of stuff that should be getting used for the good of mankind. But apparently, it seems that it didn't. I'm not exactly sure. Cuckfee showed up watching from the People's Republic of Michigan. Let's see here. Cuckfee says, we had that happen up here in Michigan earlier this year and last year in August. Tuck says, I hate carpeting. Rugs, I like. I have a way to set up a place to dry them. Nice. Let's see. Stray Kitten says, agreed. OD green suits. Yes. I don't understand why they don't like make them in green. It's so weird. I don't know what that S band is. Weather has been crazy this year everywhere. True, true. All right, let's see here. Getsy. So, you bought something on Getsy? Okay, whatever that is. I know what Etsy is. I don't know what Getsy is. GTSY. Oh, good to see you. There we go. We're talking in the young people speak. Rose says, was a hurricane, only once was a hurricane told not to come to work, then nothing happened. Yeah, I've seen that before. I've seen that. Oh, I see. Oops. S-band radar. Gotcha. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next topic, which is maximize power resources. Charging devices from laptops before using car batteries uh, preserves vehicle power for emergencies. Consider investing in solar chargers or portable power banks. These tools ensure critical communications and access to information without depleting essential car reserves. Yeah, this is actually kind of important, and it's so I am actually an affiliate for Jackery, but I've never sold a single Jackery device. And I think it's just because they're so damn expensive. Now, with the with the new batteries that the upgraded battery systems that they've come out with in the last year, I think the prices are going down because generally it was $1 per watt per device. But now I'm seeing that during the Black Friday sales, I'm actually seeing that it was much less. You were like 399 for 1,000 watts, which is unheard of. Absolutely unheard of. It's an excellent deal, but still $400. Things are still kind of expensive, and so I see that there's a lot of people that don't really buy into this stuff. I really wish they did. Because it's just smart. Actually own two Jackery 230s that I use for things here and there. Whenever I need portable power, I have it. Along with the solar panels, they're pretty nifty. Let's see here. Going to the chat. White is easier to tell if you get something on them. I gotcha. I gotcha. Stray Kitten says yesterday, Perma Pastures Farm live stream released private test results of water soil. Stray Kitten, was it? I guess it was not good. I guess it was not good. Please let us know in the chat. Let's see here. Watch two. Force multipliers. Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, let us know in the chat. Um, so the next thing is take all warnings seriously. After you've sat through a couple of hurricanes, it had radiation in it. Of course it did. Yep, I believe it. I believe it. There's a radiation storage place that went underwater just north of that valley region. I actually had a friend of mine that drove past it, saw it underwater. All right, let's see here. Take all warnings seriously. Overconfidence in familiar storms leads to unnecessary tragedies. Survivors emphasize that every alert should be treated as life-threatening. New residents often heed warnings better, but complacency can be fatal. Regularly review evacuation routes and emergency plans to stay prepared. Yes, it's kind of like you when you live in Hurricane Alley, the you kind of get used to it. It's like batten down the hatches, but you also don't get you should not get complacent. You should be paying attention to the weather, using multiple apps, tracking the storm, looking at its strength, things like that. Is it going to bring more wind than rain? Is it going to bring more rain than wind? Do you need to do something that you wouldn't normally do? Maybe you need to run away, something, but take the warnings seriously. All right, let's see. Andy says I harvested 18,650 batteries from old laptops, building a power wall with them. Wow, that's a lot of damn batteries, my friend. That's a lot of soldering. That's a lot of points of failure. But you know what? Good on you. Good on you. I would love to see pictures of it. And you're a member too, so you can actually get in the Discord and send them to us. That's pretty cool, man. Drums floated all over. Oops, exactly. No, Light Raider says the soil is completely dead. I believe it. Um, let's see here. Gnostic said, didn't a chemical plant burn down right in Helene's hit the mainland? I don't know, but I do know that in that particular region, in right there in that North Carolina Tennessee Valley area, there was a concrete plant that was full of chemicals that was right on the river, and it ain't there anymore. So do the math. Um, Storage ponds flooded. True. Difference between watches and warnings. Yes, exactly. Um, I used to it, but never com complacent. Gotcha. Includes winter storms too. True. Winter storms will sneak up on you in a heartbeat. I told you guys yesterday. I was looking at my phone the other day. It's like Monday, and all of a sudden I got this funny icon, and it's like, "Boop, what is this? Oh, it's supposed to snow here. Like, there was nothing in the weather, just kind of popped out of nowhere. But that can also show you how fast these storm warnings can come. And if you guys live up north on the like in the New England area, you're about to get blasted. So hopefully you're paying attention. Um, Pastor says it's hard to take anything, i.e., warnings from the government, seriously. That thing we can't talk out, boogeyman, lockdowns, mass is a good example. I think that's a different category. But I think, taking Mother Nature seriously is a lot easier to do than taking the government seriously. So I would focus on that. Light Runner said state labs said it was okay. Independent labs had different results. Well, of course they did. Of course they did. The state does, dude. North Carolina, unfortunately, is turned blue. They didn't just like not vote for Captain Red Tie. It's like the whole legislature. You've got the governor who's going to be blue, and then you've got the state legislature that's going to be all blue. So in the next 2 years are going to be absolutely insane in the state of North Carolina if they try to come after gun laws. I mean, they were able to make the Republicans were able to make North Carolina, regardless of what the government wanted or what the governor wanted, actually a great state to be in. Not a joke. They got rid of all sorts of stupid red tape, and I mean, they got rid of the requirement to get a in North Carolina. You used to have to get a permit that gave you permission to buy up to 3 handguns, but you had to like do a background check to make sure that you weren't like just got out of the insane asylum, stuff like that. That makes sense, right? But you had to get a permit before even a reputable gun salesperson would even talk to you. You'd had to have that permit. You couldn't even take it out of the case without the permit. You couldn't even look at firearms unless it was through glass. Um, but they have since gotten rid of that because what they found out was is that the counties were just using this as a way to do it. So they made it not legally in the state. So I fully expect to start seeing some of the people in North Carolina that wear red tie or wear blue ties start to act stupid as soon as they're sworn in. All right, let's see here. Rip to everyone downstream. Guess I know, right? Exactly. Everybody downstream is like, you're done. All the rivers coverage and flow into the Mississippi. True. How does a state like North Carolina turn blue? That's kind of scary. Well, because it's all about the population. Um, North Carolina has been able to change their voting maps so that the main cities do not hold as much power. But they still have enough to win elections with. That's the thing. You've got what is it, Raleigh, you got Charlotte, and then you got there's the third one that's out west. And basically, you got if you use red and blue paint on the state map, it's literally the entire state is red except for these three main cities where all the nutbags live. Um, you know, it's pretty insane, but that's how it happened. Let's see here. Gnostic says, "Amen to take." I'm sorry. K Camp says, "Amen to taking nature seriously." Got caught in a jeep during an ice storm a year ago. Was really scary. The defrost could not work as fast as the ice kept covering the windshield. Had to pull over. Yeah, I've seen that before. Northern New Englanders are built different. We're ready for any storm. Yeah, I used to, back when I was a Marine recruiter, I used to actually, that's right, I did that too. I did a lot of stuff. I used to actually prefer to put uh, people in the Marine Corps, enlist them, should I say, during snowstorms because nobody's at the processing center and nobody's on the road. Just me and my Astro van and 2 or 3 dudes, and we're going into the snowstorm. Looking back as a non-prepper, it was kind of stupid, but I didn't care. I was just got in the van and drove. But yeah, would drive from Providence to Boston, put them in the Marine Corps, bring them back home, or in the delayed entry program, and then bring them back home later in the day. And it would happen because the people at the processing center don't want to be there any faster than and longer than they have to in the snowstorm, and they have to be there. And even then, their processing regulations say that even if one person shows up to be processed, the entire staff has to be there, and that's a lot of people. So, Asheville, thank you very much, Asheville. Light Raider and Ian. Gotcha. You guys nailed it. If you know bad weather is coming or possibly charge up your devices last night, I got home. I charged my Bofang and Huckvey loves that AR5RM and then my GMRS Bofang GM15 Pro radios. Very windy last night. Yes, the wind is serious today. In fact, it's going to right the temperature tonight is going to be 27 and the wind chill is going to be 15. So yeah, I'm gonna have to make sure I got the drip drip on the pipes. Roofs can break under the weight of snow. That's very true. That's very true. All right, I need a sip of coffee. Bob says I drive to Providence to Boston every day. I got you, bro. I got you. All right, let's see here. Manage perishable foods efficiently, effectively, reducing fridge and freezer temperatures before a storm extends food viability. Filling freezer gaps with frozen water bags helps maintain cold temperatures longer. Using a cooler for priority items minimizes fridge access, preserving stored food. Plan to cook perishables on day 3 if the power remains out, reducing waste and ensure safe consumption. So it's kind of like a little bit of a path there. Your freezer and your fridge are definitely going to die in places where you don't have an alternate power source or and have lost long-term power. So basically, day 3 after that, you're kind of done. And it's kind of cool. It's kind of smart to have a cooler, of priority items that way you don't actually have to like get into the refrigerator all the damn time. It's if it's something that you get all the time from the fridge, you put it in the cooler with some ice. And that way you don't have to go in the fridge when the power goes out. There's no reason to open the door. Coolers are very useful. Gnostic says a good thing about winter is nature provides a fridge for you. Yeah, exactly. Take everything outside and hope the bears don't come. All right, let's see here. Stay vigilant. Yeah, I'll be honest. Last night when I was doing the bug out thing last night, if you guys don't know, I tested all my bug out gear yesterday and last night. Stayed in the woods last night. I was pretty sure, but I was hoping that my food didn't attract any of the critters and ripping through my brand new pack. Bird lady speaks. Good morning, young lady. Good morning. Or if they come, turn them into deer. There you go. There you go. But processing an entire beer, a deer, or an entire bear, that's a lot of day. Basically, your day is gone. Let's see here. Somewhere in Texas says, dang, I have to listen to replay. Someone walked into my office. Good morning. There you go. Just hit the pause button. It works. Okay, let's see here. The next thing is stay vigilant post storm. Survivors highlight what dangers don't end when the storm does. Downed power lines can stay live, and standing water may be electrified. Avoid unnecessary travel and assume all hazards remain active until authorities confirm otherwise. Basic first aid knowledge can also mitigate post disaster injuries. Yeah. So I guess the general rule is don't try to run. It's always weird too because in Hurricane Alley, everybody's like, I got to get back to my house. It's like, look, man, you don't even know if the roads are clear. Pay attention to the news. Check with, you can check online. You can make phone calls to emergency centers to find out what the status of places are. Creative redundancy, widow makers. You might have trees that are getting ready to fall on something you don't even know about. So stay vigilant after the storm. Don't just think you can run home. All right, let's see here. Pre-stock water supplies. Standing in long lines for bottled water after a disaster wastes valuable time. Filling Ziploc bags, pots, and bathtubs with water beforehand ensures a reliable supply for drinking and sanitation. Water storage systems like bathtub bladders can also store large quantities of water safely. Yeah, I actually do. I know that that's one of Light Raider's favorite things is the bathtub bladder. I can't remember the name of it actually, but I have a couple of them, but my water storages have become more significant than that, and those would be kind of like just a backup thing for me. For me. All right, let's see here. All right, well, whoever's doing that with the hearts, thank you very much. That was me. Haha. All right, let's see here. Prepare for communication failures. Windows or written the Aqua Bob. I knew you were going to chime in, man. Appreciate you. Can't make coffee without water. That's the truth, creative redundancy. That's the truth. Prepare for communication failures. Written contact information for family members is vital when phones die. Oh, yeah, that's right. I haven't beat you up in a while about making sure that you've got an actual contact card. You guys have seen the one that I keep in my wallet, right? It's about this big. It's got all sorts of numbers on the front and the back. It's laminated. I can take it anywhere I want. All right, let's see here. Landlines, often overlooked, can work when networks fail. Identify accessible landlines in the neighborhood and consider two-way radios for local communications. Having multiple contact methods reduce stress and isolation. Landlines are becoming more and more a thing of the past, but they still do exist. Okay. Um, they're kind of grandfathered into things. You technically, in both of the areas that I spend time, you technically cannot have a telephone line ran to your house anymore. You know, but it's something to know where they are. What a lot of times you'll find a landline is in like an old mom and pop store. Yeah. Gnostic said Starlink is the future. Absolutely, as long as you can, as long as you're in a place that is sky accessible. Absolutely, 100%. It was sky. Starlink was a game changer during this last hurricane slash flood for a lot of people. So I used to have Starlink when I lived back in this little cubby in the woods, but the my access to the sky it was just this tiny little hole. And every time the Starlink would go over, I'd get a gig like, "Oh my God, this is great!" And then 5 minutes later, brr, zero. So make sure you know before you buy. Make sure you know before you buy. But I do highly recommend it. All right, so this one's going to be ensure pet readiness. But before we do that, we need to pay some bills. Guys, Refuge Medical, once again, for some reason, my face is not in this thing for some reason. I guess I'll have to fix that. Refuge Medical, guys, best medical company on the planet. This stuff's not cheap. It's made in America, and it saved over 100 lives. I do recommend that everybody has either a Bearfac or a Bear Mini, and it's just awesome gear. It's just awesome gear. Um, if you want to save a little bit of money, use the code PrepStock. I haven't had a chance to change the code since PrepStock, and you'll save 15% on your purchase. So go forward and do good things. All right, we paid some money. Now, the best part of the show is when you put a one in the chat, a number one in the chat, if you love your country. Look, I'm going to drink some coffee. I'm going to talk about a few more things, and we're going to see what's in the chat today. Oh, yeah, one more time. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, so one of the last things we're going to talk about today here is ensure pet readiness. A lot of people just don't really think about it. You know, you got a storm coming and you just like you're thinking about battening down the hatches and where to go. I mean, you should literally already have a plan, but you should also have a plan to, so like evacuating with pets, it can be a little chaotic. Keeping pets in carriers prevents time, wasting searches, and ensures their safety. Include pet essentials like food, medication, documents, in their emergency kits. You should have a pet emergency kit, not a joke. Um, Practice evacuation drills, with pets to streamline the process during real emergencies. Like, okay, how are we going to herd these cats? Because they're already going to be freaking out because of the storm. They're probably already sensing it in their little kitty bones. So they're always going to be on edge and just wait. Just who's going to snatch what up and where can we do that? I actually have my two cat boxes that are currently upstairs. They, I just literally grab a cat, walk up the stairs, put him in the box. Grab a cat, walk up the stairs, put him in the box. Grab both boxes and walk out to the car. And then inside, and it's funny too because a lot of people don't know it, but like the small animal carriers actually have like these two. Uh, they're not drawers, they're like pop open thingies. You can put their medical records inside there. You can put their medications inside there. You can put like a tiny Ziploc bag full of food inside of there. Um, Lots of things. I tell you what, I would love to see. I would love to see. And matter of fact, Catitude. I'm still looking for those kitty cat Spartan helmets you said that wouldn't be too hard, but no pressure, no pressure. But I would love to see the jackets like that you put on dogs for cats. Nothing heavy. It's, I think they would freak out if you've ever put anything like on a cat that the cat's not used to and can't get off and isn't freaking out. They just like they just fall over. They act like it weighs 1,000 pounds. It's so weird. I'm gonna go ahead and check the chat here. Uh, let's see here. Your pets trained to their carriers. Oh, I'm sorry. Are your pets trained to their carriers? The cats, no. I leave the cats carriers open so they can go in there and hide if they want to, but I don't really do anything. Now, dogs, that's a different story. Every dog I've ever had knows that the word box means get in your carrier. And I train them to that. Even if I have to like do it with fear or food or whatever it is, they know when they hear that word box, it means go get in it, and they will do it too. So it's pretty interesting. My cats are barn cats; they're survivors. I got you, bird lady. Ian says they also should be chipped in case they run off. Yeah, I believe in the chips, and the thing is, it's interesting because like when you like I mean, I got uh my animals for free because they were well, one of them's free. Yeah, I guess I got them all free. But like Prepper Cat, she is chipped because she was a rescue. And one of the things that they do in those rescues is they make sure they get all their shots, make sure they get them fixed, and they make sure that they get chipped. And so that's what you're paying when you buy that rescue animal for like $125. That's what you're getting. You're getting a healthy animal that has all the basics already set up. The animal's ready to row. You just gotta get it a collar and frickin' and get it. Get him one of those what is it, Seresto collars or whatever, and the cat's ready to roll. You know what I'm saying? They do the same thing with dogs, but I think that that's important too. I have three GSDs and an American Bully. I guess you're talking about, I don't know what GSD is. I don't know if that's a cat, but an American Bully, I'm thinking is an American Bulldog. Oops says, no go getting cats. Get bag of temptations, shake bag, and cats come running. Yeah, but then you got to catch them. Then you got to pick them up. But I mean, it works. Let's see here. Barn cats are the best. Agreed. Zero litter boxes. Yeah, I love the outside cats. So Prepper Cat used to be a major outside cat. When we first got her, she went. It didn't matter what the weather was. She at night, she was outside because if she was inside, she was going to frickin' like keep us up half the damn night. So I just threw her outside, and so she got used to doing that. And then she would got to the point where she would come in and get a little bit of food because we never kept food outside because the critters would try to get it. But she would come inside, she'd eat some food, drink some water, and then she'd start meowing to go right back out. So it actually all worked out pretty cool. But with Worm, he's the fluffier one. He's the other freebie that the daughter-in-law just kind of dropped off one day and said, "You take care of him." Um, but he's a good cat, and he's learning to be outside, and so they've already been out. They don't like the cold, but they've already been outside this morning. They'll actually go to the front door and start meowing like they want to go outside, and I think that's good because then that limits access. That limits the litter box. So. Throw snacks in backs and cats go in. That's a smart way of doing it. That's a smart way of doing it. Okay, guys. I think that these survivors' insights kind of underscore the importance of practical planning, readiness, and vigilance. You know, real preparedness means more than having supplies. It involves foresight, mental resilience, and the ability to adapt in dynamic post-disaster environments. All right, so like the chat has slowed down. That is all of the stuff. Matter of fact, I it looks like I forgot to put the in my rush to get a new background for you guys. I forgot to put the poll in, so we're gonna go without that, and that's a-okay because it's been quite the night. Creative redundancy says more forethought, less hindsight. Absolutely. I think it's important that we learn from the people who have been through things, but that we use that knowledge to make our lives better. All right, guys. It looks like today's going to be a short live stream. I'm sorry, but I'm just out of material, and you guys have stopped talking, and that's a-okay because not every day can be a 1 hour day. Admin note: tomorrow is going to be a travel day for me. I will be making every attempt to be live at 9 a.m. But it will be from the road, and those are actually kind of cool. Now that means I'm going to be dependent on you guys for content, to keep my brain, to keep me yapping about something you've asked about. So it is what it is. Now, as usual, do me a favor, guys. Thumbs up on the way out the door. It's absolutely free and does help the channel. 2, make sure if you're new, hit that subscribe button. You'll get more videos like this and the regular videos that I make because they're fun to make. And 3, if you want to support the channel, there's a way to do that. There's a link in the description. Join to become a member and hit the middle one. Become a doomsday prepper because that's got all the cool stuff in it. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today. Stay safe. Have a great day, and I shall see you when I see you. I've got to find the day outro. We shall talk to you all later. Bye bye.